So it is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker. Our speaker is a director and producer whose career is remarkable, not only for its longevity, but also for its consistently high impact on the arts and society. In the world of opera, David Kneuss is a giant whose vision for theatrical staging and storytelling and whose deep passion for classical music are widely known and envied. For 25 years, he was the heart of the Metropolitan Opera, where he served as the executive stage director. David has been at the forefront of opera's emergence as a dynamic theatrical endeavor with an ability to connect with and engage 21st century audiences. For an art form that used to be marked by limited movement and acting, once known as a stand and sing aesthetic, David has been a pioneer of effective emotional storytelling that unleashes the potential inherent in operatic stories. Along the way, he has been a mentor to a new generation of young artists, creating access and opportunities to women artists as well as artists across Asia who previously faced barriers of discrimination within Western opera. He has directed nearly 100 productions around the world, including for the major opera companies in San Francisco, Boston, DC, and more, as well as the English National Opera, and of course, prominent opera companies in Germany, Italy, and Japan. David worked extensively with Seiji Ozawa, one of the world's great symphony orchestra conductors and music directors across the 20th century. And with Seiji Ozawa conducting, he staged operas at Symphony Hall, Carnegie Hall, and throughout the world. Several years ago, David introduced me to Seiji Ozawa following one of their joint concerts and performances in Kyoto. So as I stood in the green room, just the three of us, I could appreciate the deep respect that these two artists had for one another. And more to the point, I remember what a privilege it was to be with arts leaders who not only have an awe-inspiring knowledge of music and opera and possess incredible talent and vision, but these are people who also centered themselves in a profound sense of humility, anchored in a sincere desire to share the gift of music with everyone. Today, David is the artistic director of the Ozawa Music Academy, which is the premier school of for emerging musicians within Japan and attracts students from around the world. David spends large portions of each year directing operas, in addition to mentoring the next generation of international opera performers, designers, and directors. And as you've seen in his bio, which is in your program, David's directed works attract very large audiences. For example, 5,000 people attending his outdoor staging of The Damnation of Faust at the Matsumoto Festival. Over the years, David Kneuss here has returned again and again to work with students in our Opera Institute. He has been passionate about the need to expand scholarships and funding for students in the arts, and he has personally created scholarships to support CFA students in both our schools of music and theater. I will add that David Kneuss is one of the nicest people I've ever met in the entire world. He's fantastic. It is a privilege for me to call him a friend. So we are fortunate to have as our Convocation speaker a visionary director, a creative force whose passion for music, theater, and visual arts has enabled him to work across the most impressive platforms and venues. So I ask that you join me in a loud and enthusiastic round of applause for your speaker, David Kneuss.
Thank you, Harvey. None of it's true. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, family and friends, and most importantly, the exceptional individuals who make up the 2024 graduating class of Boston University's College of Fine Arts. Let's take a moment to contemplate the hours of commitment, dedication, and passion that have brought us all here today. You endured and triumphed during the COVID years, which reshaped our world and impacted every aspect of our lives, including and most specifically the arts. In pursuit of your education, you discovered Zoom. Remember? With that communication tool, you all learned to become sound engineers, videographers, lighting designers, as you navigated events in the Zoom classroom. You encountered virtual auditions and video classes, socially distanced rehearsals, and performances without live audiences. In isolation without your classmates, you overcame creative stagnation and uncertainty about what your future might become. The pandemic became part of your story, a story which details your challenges, adversities, and triumphs as you overcame the roadblocks and plot twists which complicated your time here at BU. The pandemic has made you resilient and steadfast and forced you to turn adversity into fuel for growth and transformation. I too have a BU story. Having begun my freshman year as a pre-med chemistry major in the College of Liberal Arts, my academic dissatisfaction grew, and I found myself stagnating and living in isolation in the science labs, the calculus seminars, and the biochemistry lecture hall. I was stuck in the midst of my own pandemic. I realized I needed to change my direction. With resolve, I auditioned for the School of Theater's acting department and was accepted. And began my sophomore year as an acting major. Since starting over wasn't an option, I needed to finish the degree in 3 years. With guidance from the dean's office, I was actually able to crunch my class load and finish the acting program on time. It was a difficult period for me, and while I know I missed a lot, especially performance opportunities, I did complete my coursework on schedule. My parents were happy. As my story continued, commencement in 1970 was canceled due to student unrest following the riots at Kent State, not unlike the challenges facing universities this spring. To diffuse the tension in Boston area universities, schools were shut down, commencements canceled, and the students were all sent home. I moved to Washington, D.C. for an acting job at a theater company which, as luck would have it, what else, went bankrupt. And eventually my options, I saw an opportunity to return to Boston to begin an apprenticeship with the Theater Company of Boston. Back in Boston, a former BU faculty member suggested that directing should become my focus. I thought at the time what she was saying was that I was a lousy actor. But, however, with her encouragement and an unexpected plot twist, I took an MFA in directing at Carnegie Mellon University. No applause there, please. And then with yet another twist, upon graduating, I got my first acting job in Godspell in Boston at the Wilbur Theater. I was suddenly an equity actor in a long-running hit Broadway show. After Godspell, I went to New York, directed some off Broadway showcases, and took an acting position at the Metropolitan Opera. How could I forget? Capitalizing on my BU acting, stage fighting, dance training, and classical music background, I soon was able to get a job as an assistant director at the Met, where I worked for more than 40 years, and found myself directing operas around the world, as Harvey kindly mentioned. Talk about plot twists. I never envisioned this as part of my story. Your individual stories are just beginning to become exciting. That you are sitting here today is a testament to your strength, ability, and unwavering determination. You reflect the true essence of what it means to be an artist. While the pandemic may have reshaped the landscape of the arts, it did not dampen your spirit or extinguish your creative flame. It only fueled it further. You have learned invaluable lessons that reach far beyond your craft. Through studying theater, music, and the visual arts, You have learned the importance of collaboration, of supporting one another, and of finding creative solutions in the face of adversity. You have learned to communicate, and very important, to listen to those around you. You have learned resilience and the power of perseverance. You have learned the power of persuasion and the process of considering the objectives of each scene and situation. You have learned to interpret subtext and to understand the power of body language. You understand the significance of dynamics, forte and pianissimo, and the subtleties of shading. These communication tools will serve you well, not only as actors, directors, designers, musicians, and visual artists, but also as individuals navigating the ever-changing currents of life and business and community. You will enter a world still reeling from the pandemic. Remember, you are armed with unique abilities and have tremendous responsibility to your fellow man. Your impact as artists extends beyond the stage. It reaches into the hearts and souls of those who experience your work. Through your performances and your artistry, you have the power to heal, inspire, and provoke change. Each time you step onto a stage or in a concert hall or address a boardroom, you have the ability to challenge others' perspectives and to transport them to consider new and different ways of thinking. The world needs your artistic vision now more than ever. Continue to innovate, to explore your mediums, and to push the boundaries of what your art can be. Use the skills you have developed and seize every opportunity that comes your way, whether it's on a stage or in your local communities. Remember that success is not measured by fame or fortune, but by the impact you have on others. As you begin the next chapter of your story, remember the BU community that nurtured you, friends as well as faculty, and the lessons you have learned. Cherish the friendships you have made, for they will be your strength in difficult times. Remain connected to your alma mater, and it will be a wellspring of inspiration and guidance. Some of these people may become major characters in the next chapters of your story. I congratulate you all on your achievements. The challenges you faced during the COVID years have forced you to develop tenacity, versatility, and resilience. You carry within you the power to transform lives and shape the future. May your lives be filled with boundless creativity, unwavering passion, and unrivaled success as you embrace the unknown and continue to create your own narrative. Congratulations, Boston University College of Fine Arts graduates. Go forth, and may your brilliance illuminate the world. Thank you.